you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Surprise, surprise, we have another governance proposal that just came out yesterday. It is entered the discussion phase. It'll be up for vote here in about the next week or so. And this one, I think we can go over very quick. Nothing too complicated here. Fairly straightforward. I think it's going to have kind of a minimal impact, but I still want to go over every governance proposal to make sure you guys are informed and are also aware that there's something or will be something coming that you can go vote on. So this governance proposal is to price blood and power stones in DEC. So blood and power stones are the potion equivalent for Gladius cases. Whenever you open your gladiator cards, you can use those to increase your legendary chance, increase your gold foil chance. So currently they are priced in merits. It has been said, Splinterlands has said that these are going to be changed over to vouchers, so it would be a voucher sync. They have created this proposal to change it instead to vouchers to DEC. Again, we've seen a lot of things coming with DEC to increase DEC utility, help it get back to par, which it even just the Splinterlands focusing on DEC and establishing that they want to make changes here, even with these proposals not yet passing, some of them actually failing miserably. The price of DEC is almost up towards par. It's getting very close. It's up to like 0.84 today, so it's up significantly. But anyways, the price for these stones would be 150 DEC each. 150 DEC each. And remember, you need 5. You use up 5 per pack or per case in this instance. So if you're opening them with both stones, it would cost 1,500 DEC. A few items to note. So it replaces merits. You would no longer be able to use merits. The guild buildings are still required, and that's going to be something that's important. We'll talk about that here in just a second. And it says we proposed that the guild quest lodge discounts should apply, so you still get those discounts. So it won't be quite 1,500, as most of these guilds that have this will have a discount as well. So it says to provide some data and context, there have been approximately 17,000 Gladius cases purchased over the recent 15-day period. A lot of times they look at a 15-day period because that's basically a season. So if those players purchase blood and power stones, that would result in roughly 17 million dark energy crystals being burned. And I think that's kind of looking forward into the future, because we won't burn that many right now, because right now there are less than 40 guilds out there that can actually get, even though at level 6, they have a level 6 guild building that can get the bloodstones, only a small handful of level 8 for power stones. So this actually doesn't apply. This won't be relevant for the vast majority of the player base, because you don't have the guild building to actually go buy them in the first place. So I don't think we're immediately going to have 17 million DEC burned or 34 million a month. I would bet it'd be under 500K per month to start with. But as we grow and as the game grows, we will have more and more people level up their guilds. SPS to guild brawls is coming very, very soon, so that is about to pass, and I think that'll be out very quickly. So when SPS is earned in these guild battles, more people are going to focus on their guilds. Now I think they'll work on their guild arena first rather than their guild store. But eventually people are going to get these guild stores leveled up, and they will have the option to purchase these. And then this is a DEC sync, in case that wasn't clear. So these are burned. This is not revenue for the company. This is just burned. And the value of burning DEC is that in order to produce more DEC, one of the only ways, especially if this liquidity pool proposal passes, which is kind of looking like it will, right now the only way to get DEC is by burning cards, burning SPS, or on the leaderboard. The only way to get new DEC, I should say. I mean, you can always go buy existing DEC, but the only way to kind of get that in the game. So the more we burn, in order to replace that, we have to burn SPS or burn cards, which will then contribute value to SPS or to those cards. So and I believe they're wanting to remove DEC from the leaderboards as well. So there will be no more DEC inflation unless something is burned as a result. So having DEC sinks does help the economy. And it mentions that they initially wanted to do this for vouchers. We felt that it would be better to price them in DECs. That is what we plan for most everything to be priced in going forward, because pricing in DEC is easier, right? It's meant to be a stable token. The price doesn't fluctuate. So pricing there is easy in addition to all the other benefits to the economy. But on top of that, the fact that using vouchers would add additional delays in getting SPS validators live. So for this proposal, I think we kind of have two major debates. And again, this doesn't have an impact on most players right now, so I don't think it's a big deal. But do we want DEC or vouchers to be burned? And then the price, 150 DEC. So as for DEC versus vouchers, my personal opinion is I don't really care too much. I honestly think we need more voucher sinks right now than we do DEC sinks, but it's such a small quantity that I don't want to dismiss it because there's not a lot of people using it right now, because I think that it's important to have a bunch of small sinks like this throughout the game, throughout different games as we get tower defense up, things like that. So even if it's not a huge amount that's being burned, I think having those sinks and lots of different options for sinks is an important thing to do. So I do think this is important to put in place. But DEC vouchers, it doesn't really matter to me. Now, it says adding vouchers would add additional delays. If vouchers is the right thing to do, then I say add the delay and let's make sure we do it right. But I personally don't care one way or the other, so I'm fine with DEC. The thing that I'm more concerned about is the cost. 150 DEC for Bloodstone or 150 DEC for Power Stone. So again, 1500 DEC for both. Now, a lot of players wouldn't need both. If you're not playing in gold foil phrase, you don't even need to buy the Power Stones in order to increase your gold foil chances, right? So you don't. There's not a lot of incentive to go spend that. But if we're gonna get $1.50 a pack, basically, for things that can't be resold, yes, they have a lot of value. They'll be able to be used on the land. You can use them in your brawls, and that's going to be to allow you to earn SPS. So they have indirect value, but they don't have direct value, and you can't resell them. I'm not sure a lot of people are going to want to spend $1.50 per pack. So, and I don't know. Again, we'll have to see what people do initially. I feel like because you need to burn a lot of DEC to even gain access to these. Guilds have burnt DEC and crowns to level up their buildings to even gain access to these. I feel like buying them should be a no-brainer. If you have access to them, it's like, yes, okay, we unlock this. Like, I think there should be incentive. Guilds are wanting to get to level 6 so they can get those stones and increase their legendary chances, right? And then once you've unlocked it, I think it should be a no-brainer that you want to go spend it. At 150 DEC per stone, I'm not sure it's a no-brainer. I think I'd personally rather have a lower cost so that it's like, yeah, we definitely want to do this. I'd rather see it around like 30, 40 DEC or something like that, significantly lower. So I think if I had a complaint about this proposal, that would be it, that it should be a cheaper price. But I don't know. I guess I don't. It's hard to predict what people are going to be willing to pay for these and what value they will have long term. Because again, using them on the land could be very valuable. We could be complaining about the price now, and turns out down the road when they're able to be used on the land, maybe they'll have more use cases down the line that this could be that no-brainer deal. So I don't know everything that's necessarily planned there either. But just looking at things at what we've got right now, I think the price is a little too high. So my recommendation would be maybe even to cut it in half. I would say 30, 40, even down to like 75. I think might be okay. So that's my thought, but I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. This is something where I'd be like, whatever Splinterlands wants to do, go do it. Whatever the community wants to vote for, I don't care one way or the other. But I still want to kind of discuss this, look at what's kind of break down what's going on in this proposal. So you guys all can be informed and you can go vote on what you want to see. So I'm very curious to see how this shapes out, because I don't know. I think we might see more of a 50-50 vote, and we need more than that to pass. But another thing that I'll kind of reference, Matt talked about in the town hall how there are kind of different types of proposals here, and Splinterlands is using these proposals as kind of a way to gauge official feedback as well. There are things that are directly related to SPS. So that is things that the DAO has complete say over. Okay. The DAO and Splinterlands are separate. Obviously, they're very tied together. But things that are involving the SPS token are things that the DAO can decide. And Splinterlands Splinterlands has kind of limited say themselves over those, especially once we get player proposals out there. This is something that actually does not directly involve SPS. Right now, this is sold in merits. Changing it to be sold for DEC does not use SPS, does not interfere with anything in the SPS white paper. So I believe technically Splinterlands doesn't need a proposal for this, and I think it's more though being used to gauge, just kind of to gauge feedback. And ultimately, I do think this is a company decision. So we'll see what happens there, and how they want to go about that process. This is all something kind of new, so we're kind of seeing how they go about this. But that's been a kind of a common, I don't want to say complaint, but a comment as why is Splinterlands even doing this as a proposal? Just go do it. It's something fairly small and it doesn't need a governance vote. Just go do it. But I think it's something where Splinterlands just wants the community feedback, so they want to know what the community thinks, and it's something where they'll probably, even though technically I don't think they have to go with what the community votes for, I expect them to actually do that. So that's kind of an interesting difference there between what Splinterlands is gauging feedback for and what the DAO has 100% say over, and what the DAO says goes, and that type of thing. And that's going to be kind of an interesting thing to follow as the game develops and we get more where players can create their own proposals and things like that, and where exactly is that line. And sometimes it's clear cut, and other times it's not so clear cut. So it's going to be very intriguing. It's something that Splinterlands is kind of breaking ground here and being the first real game to do this. I know other games kind of have DAOs and have things, but they're not using it even like Splinterlands is yet. And I know these are all team proposals at the moment, but they will be player proposals fairly soon. And this is going to be a whole new environment. And I'm very curious to see what happens with the community and how political things get. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So I think there'll be a lot of good. There might be some road bumps along the way, but it's going to be fun to see a game doing this for basically the first time. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this proposal. Yeah, I said I was going to go over this quickly, didn't I? And now it's a 15-minute video, but oh well. Hey. You guys should know that by now. You know what you're getting into when you click on one of my videos. Let me know which you guys would rather see. Would you rather see DEC? Would you rather see vouchers? Or would you rather just be left for merits? So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Usually I have pretty good predictions. I have no clue here. So I'm very interested to read the comments. So thanks a lot. Again, I'm doing my live streams. We're doing the rental account. Make sure you guys go visit me on Twitch, both my own account, and on Fridays I'm on Splinterlands TV on Twitch. That's from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys are catching me on Splinterlands TV as well. And if it's not me, that's a 24/7 Splinterlands streaming channel on Twitch. So anytime you want to go watch somebody play Splinterlands, it's almost always up. I think they're like 4 or 5 hours away from being filled for being 24/7. So it's a pretty cool setup. You guys like Splinterlands, like watching Splinterlands battles, and at all different levels, different languages even, people from all over the globe. It's a pretty cool setup. So make sure you guys go check out Splinterlands TV. I'll see you over there.